Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a snake game in Python using PyGame. It's pretty simple, let's get started. First open new Python project and let's create a game window. Screen width, for example, 480 and screen height equals 482. Next let's add snake control. Left equals x coordinate is -1 and the y-coordinate is 0. Next, right equals 1 and 0. Next, up equals 0, x-coordinate and -1. And finally, down, 0 and 1. Okay, let's write the constants in uppercase so it will be more correct. Screen width, screen height, left, right, up, and down. That's good. Go ahead. Next, let's create class snake and let's create the function to control the game. Keys and paste the standard PyGame code here. You can follow the link to the description to copy it. Here we need to import PyGame, use the hint or in terminal add pip install PyGame and install and import package PyGame. It is installing. Package is installed successfully. Let's check. We have imported PyGame as PyGame. That's good. We have there and we have there with sys. Let's make the same. Import sys library. That's good. What's going on here? If event of PyGame is quit, then quit PyGame. Or if we pressed up, then turn our snake up, rename it, else. If we press down, then turn down, left and right. That's okay. Go ahead. Let's create the main function and let's run the main function. Next, in the main function, let's add the screen. Screen equals pygame dot display dot set mode and size equals screen width and screen height. Uppercase here, screen width and screen height. That's good. Next, create a snake variable from snake class with brackets, and while true, while the game screen is open, we use key control snake dot keys. Let's try to run the game window and we see the PyGame window. It's good. Now let's fill our screen with something pretty. First, let's just change the background. To do this, let's add grid size constant equals, for example, 20 pixels. Next, grid width equals screen width divided by grid size, and grid height equals screen height divided by grid size. Okay. Go ahead. Next, let's create a new function, draw grid with surface. Create the loop for x in range from 0 to grid width and for y in range from 0 to grid height. Rectangle equals pygame.rect, and for every x and y we have a small rectangle, and all these rectangles form the surface of our game. And next, let's draw our surface. pygame.draw.rectangle. It's a RGB color of our small rectangle. Now it's a white color, but you want to color it however you want. After that, let's create a surface equals pygame.surface screen.getSize. And finally, while our game is running, draw grid with surface. Next, screen.bleed surface from 0, 0, and update our display pygame.display.update. Let's run our game. We have an error, line 33. We need an integer, but got float instead. Let's fix it. Grid width integer, and integer here. Let's run again, and we have the white screen just like we wanted. This is not just a white screen, but a grid of small squares, on which we will add our objects, such as a snake and snake food. Let's go ahead. Now let's add the food to our screen. To do this, add the new class food. Let's add the initial function in it. So, okay, here add a color to our food. For example, it will be red color. This is RGB color encoding. You can set any color. And next add the random position, self.position equals, and paste the standard formula to randomize a value on the surface. We have an error because we haven't imported the random library into our project. Let's fix it. Scroll up and import random. Okay, we have an error here because we have a grid size constant with uppercase. Let's rename it. Okay, and rename it here. It's good. And paste the dot here. Okay, next let's draw our food on the surface as a rectangle. PyGame dot rectangle. The size of the food is equal to 1 square on the surface. Add grid size and grid size. And after that, draw rectangle on the surface. Color will be the same, red, and it will be the rectangle. After that, go to the main function, create the food class variable, food from food. Next, inside while loop, draw food on the surface. Next, write screen dot bleed and add the parameters surface and 0, 0. Okay, and update the display PyGame dot display dot update. Let's run the game, and we have our food on the screen. Let's rerun the application, and we have food on another place. It's good. Go ahead. Flickering because we added screen refresh 2 times. Let's fix it. Delete this code and rerun the application. That's better. Go ahead. We only need to add the snake. It may not be so easy. Scroll up to snake class. Let's create the initial function in itself. Initial length equals 1. Initial position at the center. Screen width divided by 2 and screen height divided by 2. Initial direction is a random direction. Random dot choice of up, down, left, and right. Color of our snake is green by RGB, and initial score is 0. After that, inside snake class, let's create another move function to make our green snake move across the screen. First, let's find the current head position equals self dot position 0, x and y equals self direction, new position equals this formula with uppercase. Okay, now we need to check if we didn't crash to ourselves. Then we need to move the snake 1 step forward. Then create the function to turn our snake with the second parameter, which way to turn, self.direction equals point. Then next create function to draw our snake. For I in self.position, create the rectangle, and next draw this rectangle by game.draw.rectangle. On the surface, color is initial color and shape is rectangle. Surface is a second parameter. Okay. Finally, we need to determine how the game will restart when we lose control and crash into ourselves. Let's add the initial parameters from here. Except the color because the color does not change. After that, scroll down to main function. Here, initialize the PyGame, pygame.init. Let's add a screen refresh. PyGame time.clock at 10 frames, for example, per second. Then run move function to move our snake. Next, draw the snake on the surface and let's run the game. We have the error on the 19th line because I have forgotten brackets. We run. We have another error, line 47. Let's see. Self.length, no attribute. I have a mistake. Scroll up, length, okay. We run and we have the initial game, but you see that we can't catch the food. It's a problem for this game, but not the problem for us. Let's fix it. Go to main function. If snake head position 0 equals food position, then snake dot length plus 1 and food dot randomize position. Let's create this function. Input class function randomize position equals this row. Paste it and add self in brackets. Okay, let's run our game. Try to catch the food. Okay, we're bigger. It works good, but we have the problem with restart. Let's fix it. Line 44. We name it reset here and we name it restart here. Let's rename it reset. Run application, catch it. And then try to crash to ourselves. It's a new problem. We need to restart from the initial one rectangle, but now we return to long snake. Let's fix it. Let's delete integer here. Okay, and when draw grid, let's add integer here. Integer, okay, run the game. Let's crash the game. We have the same error. Let's try to fix. Inside turn function, let's add the condition if point 0 equals self direction, then return, else self direction equals point. Add colon and run. And we can't go to back direction, only on another direction. If we move horizontally, we can turn only vertically. And if we move vertically, we can turn only horizontally. It's good. And I found the mistake about reset. I misspelled length. Rerun the game and try to make bigger to crash. Boom. And it has been resetted. It's good. It works perfectly. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for the watching. Like, subscribe. Have a nice day. Have a good coding. See you next time.